Hi guys, today I'm going to be talking about all the supplies that you can use to start journaling, and then also supplies to kind of like step it up a little once you start it. So let's get into it. My credentials are that I finished all of these. No, they're dropping. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to show them to you in 2 seconds because I can't pick them up all at one time. But these and these are all finished journals. And then of course I have one that I'm working on right now with this really cute little bow that I tied to the elastic in the front. Highly recommend. Okay. Also, while we're getting into it, I want to show you guys what kind of journaling I typically do. There's a mix of scrapbook style spreads that look something like this, but then there's also just pages and pages of just straight up writing. So I do, sorry, my folder fell out, which we'll talk about in a second because I haven't taped it in yet, but I will, promise. Sorry, where was I? I need to stop dropping things, but it's okay. But yeah, I do kind of a good mix between traditional writing journaling and then like junk journal scrapbooking kind of thing. And sometimes I have time to make really pretty spreads, and sometimes I just stick it in there like this, and that's fine too. So when you if you're first getting into journaling, I want you to take a period of time, you can decide what it is, where you use an inexpensive notebook that's portable. And not like this super fancy notebook that you're afraid to mess up, okay? Go buy an inexpensive one from Hobby Lobby or whatever. I really like the Paper Age ones from Amazon. They're like $9 a piece, whatever. Because you're like, you don't want it to be so nice you're afraid to use it, okay? And then you're going to pick a pen or pencil, and that's it. You're using one. It doesn't have to be like this exact one, but you're not having the fancy colors and the highlighters and the tape. No, you're using a pen or a pencil and this inexpensive journal. Do that to get it consistent, because if you set up this big, great, huge system that requires all this work and all this, then when that system doesn't work for you, that's all you're going to see from journaling. So then journaling doesn't work for you, right? So if you start it with the simplest the system can be and then build on it to be this complicated, pretty thing, and then when you don't have time and you're really busy or you're sick or whatever, you can go back to that really simple system, and however you part up or down as your life allows it, it works, and you can stay consistent with it, because consistency is the key. I don't think that I've had more than a week gap in any of those journals that I've showed you. And I've been journaling for the past 2 years. So, it's a really, and like, I could film a whole nother video on why you should journal, but if you're interested in it, I think you probably have your own reasons. Just make it consistent. Okay, the other thing, when you're first starting, you can maybe get some glue and some scissors and stick some ephemera in there, but we're not making fancy pages yet. Once you've gotten consistent, this is where it gets fun, okay? In addition to that glue stick, tape, and a really nice thing, a tape runner. This is really good for when you don't quite want to waste tape or like see the tape lines, but also glue isn't quite strong enough, like photos. Glue usually doesn't hold very well for. So get yourself a photo runner for that and like construction paper. Okay. Also, markers that don't bleed through. I personally like the Zebra midliners, but you can get a bunch of different ones. Okay, for photo printing, you can get yourself a mini photo printer. I have a Kodak one right here that prints it on sticky back. You just stick the photos in. This is good, and I use it especially when I'm on trips so that I can journal while I'm on the trip, but I don't use this every day because it's not the most cost effective. What I found is the most cost effective that I find people online really aren't talking about is, sorry, I thought I forgot to turn my mic on. I'm really not there, but it's okay. is you go on Canva and you lay out, you pick a 4x6 photo, and then you lay out photos on that. I personally do 8 for every 4x6, so I come out with little bitty photos. But you could, you can put them in 4x6. It doesn't matter. And then you go over to Walmart, who sells 4x6s, 1 hour pickup, same day, for 16 cents. So if you're fitting 8, you're paying, what, 2 cents a photo? Which is way better than this, where you're paying a lot more. But it is more convenient. So if you can get to both, do both, but start with Walmart, especially because they have a better quality photo print. So like I used to use one of those little inkless travel printers, which are cheap and really great, except the problem is they print in that black and white inkless paper and they start to fade over time. So I was seeing that my journal from, 3 months ago, the photos weren't showing up anymore. Well, I really wanted that. Like, that was the point of me preserving stuff. What was the point if they were going to fade? So I switched to Walmart and it works really great. CVS works well too. They're just like a tad more expensive and the CVS is farther from where I live. But whatever's convenient, do that. Okay, colored cardstock, construction paper. A rotary style label maker is really cool for making titles. I recently got one for Christmas. And it's been really fun. But you can also, I'll often just trace titles from Google Docs on my iPad. Works too. And then lots of just collected ephemera and receipts and photo strips. I love a photo booth strip. Just things that you pick up. Personally, I don't use them, but really popular things are stickers and washi tape. Ribbon can be fun, anything that you can decorate with. We talked about consistency, play around with what works for you. Everybody has their own ideas on what works as far as like a mix of like writing and junk journaling. So whatever ratio works for you, play around with it, which is why I recommend start with writing first. And find what times work for you. I personally do morning pages, which is from the Artist's Way. It's 3 pages, so long handwriting every morning. And then at night, if I have any like spreads to do or things to document, I do that. And then don't be hard on yourself. Create for the fun of it. Not every page is going to be cool and Instagrammable. Some of them are going to look like trash, and that's okay. At the end of your journal should look like trash, okay? There will be stains. The spine, very broken. The stickers peeling off. It will be bursting, okay? And it will look as though someone's run over it. The truck, okay? And that's how you know that you have lived in one. Like, buy a fancy journal if you want a fancy journal, but don't be afraid to mess it up, right? Because you want to take care of it, like value it, but also live in it, right? Take it everywhere you go. Throw it in your bag, throw it in your car. Take it outside. Like, there's a certain amount of wear that happens when you live in things, and that's okay. Oh, I told you guys I was going to talk about the folder. I personally you can keep a regular envelope, but I keep one of these Walmart photo folders to keep random ephemera in when I get it from places so that it stays flat, tuck it in the back of my journal, and then take it out when I need it. And also I take, I have a template for the photo size that I use so that if I am doing a spread, I can lay it out and just trace the rectangle to know how big the photo will be when I go and pick it up, because I pick them up like once every 2 weeks. Or if I'm just writing and add in a photo from the day. I print almost every photo I take at this point because it's so cheap and it's great. But yeah, find what works for you. Start a journal. It will change your life. I swear. Let me know if you guys have any supplies that you would hate to have to journal without, or any recommendations for mine. See you next week.